Domini is a shelter for women in crisis pregnancy. Our home is situated in Claremont and we operate within the Archdiocese of Cape Town with Archbishop Stephen Brislin as our patron. The plight of a young girl is very much at the heart of the decision we took to establish the Domini home. This young woman did not want to have an abortion, but without the assistance of her family or the father of the child, her choices were severely limited. The reality of the situation shocked us, and with no means other than our trust in God, we took the leap of faith and established Domini. Many women and girls in South Africa are faced with crisis pregnancies. They live in bleak, poverty-stricken circumstances, with absent boyfriends or fathers of children, in dysfunctional households and family, where there is often total unemployment, maybe a state grant or pension, no food, no proper school certificate, no prospect of work. It is this situation which Domini addresses. We offer an alternative for moms who are so desperate that they do not know how they are going to give birth and care for their babies, and consider abandonment or abortion as their only alternative. The need for homes such as Domini remains high. The escalating number of women seeking assistance reinforces the dire need for our facility. This has been achieved in challenging circumstances, with our current and future operational costs not yet secured. Since our opening day in September 2007, there has been no looking back. The need for the home was immediately confirmed. Our original premises in Pinelands was kitted out to accommodate 8 women, but was generally filled to capacity, with as many as 19 women and children resident at one time. Most of the women who find themselves under our care have been through turbulent times. They suffer not only financial poverty, but by and large emotional and spiritual poverty as well. We try to respond as Jesus calls us to when he says, "Whatever you do unto the least of these, you do unto me."
When I think of the typical woman that enters Domini, I automatically think of someone who grew up in a home where there might have been problems between the parents, abusive parents, either towards the child or towards each other. Someone who lost a parent at a young age, someone who turned to substance abuse, someone who lacked a father figure in their life and then go in search of someone to fulfill that fatherly role. They've grown up with abusive parents, abusive partners, experienced lots of trauma, lots of stresses in their life, and all of those add up to how they make their decisions in life.
What mainly sticks out about Domini is the fact that it fills a void in our society. We live in this kind of oppressive state where women are powerless in a sense, in many regards in their life.
So when they enter here, it's not just a pregnancy that they are dealing with, but so many other crises that they have to cope with. The families that are not wanting them, who feel they put shame on the family, rape that they've experienced, abuse that they've experienced, getting over the substance abuse. It becomes so much more than just helping someone through a pregnancy. They come with so much hurt, so much trauma.
If you think about South Africa, it's a wonderful, rich, multifaceted country, yet we still have the highest rate of gender violence in the world.
From a counseling perspective, when women enter the house, they are struggling with so much. Firstly, there's the hurt of whatever physical they've been through. And with the physical comes also a matter of a spiritual challenge that they are facing.
I'm Tomegano here. I'm 22 years old, born in Gule to Cape Town. And this is my son, Mpumelelo, who was born on the 14th of July.
Okay, I'm Langa, and this is my daughter Rose. And we came to Domini in July.
The 14th of January, the day after his father's birthday, I found out I was pregnant with him.
I gave up on everything, actually after my mother's death. I gave up on everything. I had nothing. We had a place to stay, but we didn't even have a lock. And it was in Delft, as one of the most dangerous places in Cape Town. We had no lock, we had no light. We would only eat once in a day. Sometimes I didn't have pampers for my child. I would use a vest.
It was shocking when I found out that I was pregnant and told his dad, and having a baby wasn't part of my plan because I was still studying. I was supposed to do my last year at CPET this year, civil engineering. So keeping him wasn't an option at first. That's why some days it's very hard for me to even look at him because of the thoughts I had of not keeping him.
I did abortions in the past, and it became a habit. I've done it so many times. I'm not even proud of it, but I'm glad that I'm here. And God forgave me for that.
We have now been experiencing that women that come through the doors here come because this is the option, the other option, the only option to abortion. But many of them have come from other abortions and are sitting with that trauma. They don't know how to explain it. All they can tell us is, I've been through it, I can never go through it again, and that's all they can. So even before they get to the point of deciding adoption or keeping the child, even before they get to the point of what they're going to be doing, where they're going to be going once they leave Mater Domini, we have to deal with that, the abortion trauma, the healing, and only through God are we able to give that message to them.
I think about 2.5 years ago, I found out I never knew my father was. So my mom got really sick and I didn't have much of family to go to if anything were to happen to her. So she eventually told me about my dad and how she actually conceived me was not very pleasant because my father actually raped my mother. So I had my own personal problems that I'm still dealing with, and having a baby was just, I didn't need that stress as well on top of all my other stresses.
We've been exposed to a lot of different things here.
I would go as far as to say that I've been exposed to more trauma here than I have at my other placements, which is Delft and Mitchell's Plain. So that just shows you the spectrum of problems, of pathologies, of traumas. It's unbelievable. And this is why women are so, this is what I'm speaking about, the vulnerability of women. In Mitchell's Plain, I counsel a lot of men as well, but here it's women who have been violated.
Like I lived with my family in Mitchell's Plain, and there were nights when we weren't eating and things like that. So it's like everything is against you. It's like against you keeping a child.
I always had an empty space in me. I needed my mother, I needed a family, I needed that love.
Because I still have some of the girls that left here that call me up and I'm like, okay, this is weird. I never had friendships like so tight like that. It's people that have gone from this place and they're doing well. They still call me to find out how I'm doing, you know. And so you build friendships that are stronger here because you can relate to the girls that are here somehow, in some way.
to grow into a mature woman, things that can help you to better your future, and things that can help you to become independent enough to care for yourself.
Other than that, we've got one of the best doulas in the Western Cape, and Judy dedicates every Monday at least 2 to 3 hours with the ladies, and they there during her sessions learn to understand what happens to them during the pregnancy, but most important, how to prepare for the natural birth. Then we have skills that every woman we think should have: how to run a home, how to cook, how to clean. You'll be surprised how many people come in here that can't even chop an onion. And that's also, we always tend to downplay those sort of skills, but it's important for them because they leave here with baby and they're going to be on their own. They need to know those things. It's always good to add a skill that can help them generally when they leave here.
Yeah, we've definitely been touched by the resilience of some of or most of the ladies that have stayed here this year. Especially I think also in the group setting, the group sessions that we've been having, you see a change in them week by week, and how they're growing and just bouncing back from whatever trauma they've encountered, and it's very inspirational and motivates us to keep on doing what we're doing.
Very grateful to the interns who assist Celeste in their counseling. This is something that should be intensified, definitely intensified. We're seeing more referrals, not from girls who choose to fall pregnant, but girls who are rape victims and things like that, and they didn't choose to be in this situation. And without the counseling that they receive here, it's very difficult for them to leave here in a better situation that they found themselves when they first came here. The daycare center, definitely a must. We have noticed that inquiries are coming through from women who have already had children. And I suppose that is what financially pushes them into another abortion, is I already have 3 children, where do I go? What do I do?
What we plan to do is to have a few cots for the babies, but also we have themed areas, and we've had quite a few people coming in here, ECT trained, friends of Mater Domini also to come and give us advice as to how to set it up, and they will further help us as well how to teach and train these mommies is at least even an hour a day to do some constructive playing and exploring in this environment. Also, the working committee was very instrumental in helping sorting out this area with funding for the drywalling, putting it up. We have the Catholic Women's League as well, who helped with the cupboards behind me, as you see, for storage.
The counseling that we give them, the sessions that we provide, and with children interfering and distracting them, it really is not such an impact without their daycare center. So we really do need to focus on up and running that daycare center.
I always thank God for bringing me to this place and for giving me a second chance, because like being here, it's a second chance. This place has changed me in so many amazing ways. This is the best home. I mean, I have a safe place, like I have the best room. I have warm blankets, warm showers, and it's just amazing. I'm just happy every day and I cannot complain.